Well, I'm going to invite you to sing some more. I want you to sing after me. I love Sophia. I love Sophia. Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, yes, I do.
I don't love anyone like I love you. When you're not near me, I'm blue. Sophia, I love you. Very good. And just so you're not thinking I've gone completely bananas, I got to tell you who Sophia is. Today we're talking about wisdom, and wisdom's Greek name is Sophia. So when I sing, I love Sophia, I'm talking about I love wisdom and what God can inspire within us. But there's always the opposite side. Whenever we're working in Old Testament, they do everything in dichotomies. There's this and there's that, there's this and that. So in this case, I want to sing after me again. I want to tell you about the other side that Sharon talked about. She's called the wise, the silly, foolish person. Actually, her Greek name is Trela. Trela stands for foolishness, and I want you to sing with me. I don't like Trela. Oh no, I don't. She will betray ya. She is a crone. When she gets near you, you're through. Oh Trela, I don't like you. Now, if you can remember those two little ditties, you can go to sleep and don't have to listen to the rest of the sermon. Because you got it down what we're talking about. We're talking about the dichotomy between wisdom and folly, between Sophia and Trela. And it's based on the words of St. Paul, who said, don't live like fools, but live like those who are wise. Can you say that? Don't live like fools, but live like those who are wise. I'd like to give you today an idea of how opposite those are. And if you think I get a little wild in this, this is all inspired from Proverbs chapter 9. And that's what we're going to be talking about. But they always portray good and evil as two different sides. It's almost like the old Saturday Night Live sketches where somebody had focused in somebody that had a difficult decision to make. And then there would pop up a replica of themselves dressed in white robe, a halo, and a heart. And then that one person would talk, and then another caricature of the self would pop up on the left shoulder, dressed in red, carrying a pitchfork, and having a tail. And they argue back and forth. If you can keep that picture in your mind, that's kind of like what the Old Testament talks about wisdom and folly. So I'd like you to imagine yourself all alone somewhere, just totally by yourself. Someplace where you're comfortable, and yet you've got a decision to make. And you hear two competing voices vying for your attention. First is Sophia. You might call her Lady Wisdom. And she is the epitome of God. When God spoke, let there be light, it was Sophia that was there. When God said, let there be land and sea, Sophia was there. When God said, let there be animals and fish and birds, Sophia was there. And when God created human beings in his own image, Sophia was there. She assisted with the hanging of the cosmic drywall. That is the heart of God's creative genius. She also edifies us by helping us to understand the scriptures. Have you ever opened the Bible? You open the Bible and you start to read it. Oh my goodness, what does this mean? It's Sophia, it's wisdom that enables us to take what the words mean and apply them to their lives. Lady Wisdom also built her home on 7 pillars, the Bible says. And the number 7 is the perfect number, meaning that all of the things she teaches us and leads us into are according to God's blueprints. Sophia. The Old Testament talks about her putting on an apron and going into the kitchen to cook a meal. She goes in, she cooks, she mixes, she pours the wine, she lays out the fine china, the sparkling silverware, she lights candles, She places flowers in their vases. She sends out the servants' girls saying, "The feast is ready." And her feast is always delicious. It's never fattening. It won't clog your arteries. It will never give you indigestion. It always will be there to strengthen you and fill you with the wisdom of God. And then you hear a call. Come, you who are looking for understanding. Come, you who are tired of the world's folly and foolish frenzy. Come, who are tired from all the racing around and chasing after the wind. Come, I offer you holiness. Dinner is served. Come and taste and see that the Lord is good. On the other side pops up Trela, and she speaks in your ear as well. Imagine her standing on your shoulder in a dress 2 sizes too small. And she's there, and she begins to speak as she appears. You may hear some music in the background. And she winks at you and she says, "Hey, baby, you looking for wisdom? You tired of the world's rules and all those responsibilities? You tired of putting the reins on those luscious things like greed and gluttony and wrath and envy and pride and my favorite, sloth? Come here, baby. I've got some water I stole just for you, and it's so exciting. Hey, baby, come and show you a really good time. The illegal, prohibited stuff it's way yummier and much more exciting. Hey, baby, why don't you come up and see me sometime?" She's hard to resist, but if her flirtiness doesn't turn you on, you may like the meal. Come and sit down at her table. Imagine filling your plate and take a bite. And it is so delicious. And you chew, but as you chew, you start to feel a little groggy. You start to feel a little odd, and you feel like you've been drugged. And you say, "What is that?" And Madame Folly says, "Oh, that's one of my favorites, baby. I call it closed-mindedness casserole. Isn't it delicious?" And you pick up your goblet. It looks like water, but when you taste it, it's fizzy, and it makes you even more dizzy. And she says, "Drink up. That's my special concoction. It's called Scoff at the Spirit Spritzer. Isn't it sinful?" Oh, you start to feel sick to your stomach. You got some serious heartburn. You say, "Oh, I don't feel so good." And she says, "Oh, don't worry, baby. Just get used to it. Just keep eating, keep drinking. Oh, and here, have some cake. I call it better than God cake. Devil's food. And it's to die for." And then, just then, you hear a voice from within that says, "You're in danger here," the voice says. And so you excuse yourself, and you go to the restroom, and you splash water in your face, and it's real water, and this time it kind of wakes you up, and you realize whose you are, that you are not a person of this crazy woman, but you are a child of God who has been redeemed by the blood of Christ and brought into the family that lasts forever. And then you hear a voice within you again, and it says, "Get out of here, you're in danger. Excuse yourself, go, you've got to get out of here. Run as fast as you've ever run before." And you recognize the voice, and it's the voice of Sophia. And so off you go, and as you go, Trela says, "Where are you going, baby?" And you just keep running, and when she realizes you are ignoring her, her voice morphs into that of a total monster, and it says, "Come back here, you blooming idiot." But you're gone. You sprint back to the house less entered, the road less taken, the house of Lady Sophia, of Lady Wisdom. And while you're still far off, she sees you coming, and she comes out and welcomes you and gives you a hug and kisses you gently on your cheek with a kiss of peace. And And she says, I was really sick about you. Come in. Foolishness will never harm you again, not while I'm around. And come and eat the real meal, the bread of life. For whoever eats of this bread will live forever. That's all from the Old Testament, amplified a little bit. If you ever want to read a good book, I invite you to take your Bibles and hold it up and down, put your thumbs in, open it, and just a little bit to the left, you'll find the book of Proverbs, which is filled with the wisdom of Sophia. It was most likely written by King Solomon, King David's son, who was one of the wisest people that ever lived. And it's filled with great advice. Now it quiets down. Thanks! Well, I want to have you share some wisdom. And like I said at the beginning, in Hebrew, whenever they talk about wisdom, it's always in two parts. So I'm going to have you repeat after me some Proverbs from the book of Proverbs. And first of all, we're going to go to chapter 10. And I'm going to do each part. So I'm going to have you guys say the first part, and you guys say the second part. Okay? And let's see if we can just kind of soak in some wisdom. Lazy people are soon poor. Yeah, there you go. Hard workers get rich.
Hard workers get rich.
Okay, another bit of wisdom from chapter 10. A wise youth harvests in the summer. But one who sleeps during harvest is a disgrace. Good people are remembered long after they're gone. But the wicked are soon forgotten. Hatred stirs up trouble. Love overlooks the wrongs of others. The wise of heart will heed the commandments. A babbling fool will come to ruin. You feel smarter? You feel wiser? Here's some more. We're going to let you this side start. Willingness and stupidity do not go well together.
Willingness and stupidity do not go well together.
If you are too eager, you'll miss the road. Here's one from chapter 29. A ruler who listens to lies will have corrupt officials. Ah, Sophia. Isn't she wonderful? St. Paul wrote in the second sentence that we read earlier, he said, make the most of every opportunity in these evil days. And this is indeed some great wisdom. Do you ever think we lived in the worst times ever? You know, I hear some people grousing, everything's going hot, the world's awful. You know, the people in St. Paul's, they thought the same thing. So what did he say? Even in the midst of the worst that's happening, what does he say to do? Make the most of your time. Some translations say, redeem the time. Take the time that God has given you and make it better. I read an article this week that had 8 suggestions on how to increase your joy, to build lives that are not only pleasing to God, but fun and joyous to live. I'd like to share those with you. Some of them, yeah, they're like no-brainers, but some of them were special and new to me. So I'm going to say each one, then have you repeat after me. This is my trick to keep you awake. So the first one is gratitude, gratitude, gratitude.
Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude.
When you are thankful, you are better. The more we are thankful for the things that God has placed in our lives, the more joy and happiness we experience ourselves, but also the more joy and happiness we bring to others. It improves our relationships and actually makes us a better person. Okay, number 2. Do what you are good at as often as you can. Do what you are good at as often as you can. Some people call this your signature strength. But can you imagine what life would be like and how much more fun it would be if we'd spend more time doing what we're good at and less time frustrating ourselves with things that we're not so good at? Find your gifts and use them, is another way of saying it. Number 3, spend as much time as possible with people you like. Spend as much time as possible with people you like. I know there's a lot of times that we're thrown in with people that are different than us, that they just kind of turn us off and separate us from joy. And sometimes we have to do that, and it's a mission sometimes when we do that. But we need to have plenty of time to spend with people that we like, because they lift us and they increase our joy in life. A lot of times I talk to people as they're kind of nearing the end of their lives, and frequently they'll share their regrets. And one of the top ones is, I wish I would have spent more time with the people that I love. Number 4 is a no-brainer, but for some reason I need to keep being reminded of it, and here it is. Money is good, but many other things are better. Money is good, but many other things are better. Studies show that money will not increase your happiness. I mean, there's a certain level where if you don't have enough money, it's not very fun. But when you hit that level, then other things become more important. Studies show that Amish people are just as happy and just as satisfied, if not more so, than billionaires. All right, number 5 is easy. I've been testing your brains here. One word. Give.
Yeah.
Someone once said, "'Tis better to give than to receive."
It's better to give.
Thank you. I think you should say that. It's better to give than receive. Anybody know who said that? He could have. Anybody want to know who said it first? I'll give you a hint. Jesus said it. It says in the book of Acts chapter 20, the author wrote, "You should remember the words of our Lord Jesus," quote, "It is more blessed to give than to receive." I like this next one, number 6. One word. Savor. Savor. Be where you are. Soak in what you have. If you're eating, enjoy the food. If you're drinking, enjoy the drink. If you're exercising, enjoy the exercise. If you're in church, enjoy the rain. Be where you be. Number 7, strive. Strive. Don't take the easy way out except for laborious, repetitive things. Set ambitious goals, hairy, audacious goals, as Jim Collins, I think, wrote that. Strive for what is better. And this is the last one. Be optimistic, even to the border of delusion. Be optimistic, even to the border of delusion. I like that one. Optimism is key. It makes all the difference in the world. Yes, being pessimistic will soften the blow when things go wrong, but is it worth it? Is it worth it to always have that downer going on in the back of our minds? It doesn't do any good. Besides, being a little delusional ain't all that bad. In fact, this article said that self-deception, you don't usually talk like this, self-deception is stress-reducing. It builds a positive self-bias, and it will increase your pain tolerance. When I read that, I was thinking about this friend of mine at church I served in Pennsylvania. And this guy would refuse to use Novocaine when he had dental work done. I said, "Are you out of your mind? What, are you crazy?" And he had some serious issues going on. I said, "How do you do it?" He says, "I just believe it won't hurt." You ever been to the dentist? The reality is it hurts. But somehow he got it, he changed it. And he made it to where that's the way it is. So it's great having you here today and to delve into the scriptures to kind of see the personification that the Old Testament talks about between wisdom and foolishness, between Sophia and Trela. And I hope you will go from here fed and enriched and filled with the wisdom of God. For it is there, and I invite you to enjoy in Christ's name every day he gives you. I love Sophia.
I love Sophia.
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, yes, I do.
I don't love anyone
I don't love anyone
like I love you.
like I love you.
When you're not near me,
When you're not near me,
I'm blue.
I'm blue.
Sophia,
Sophia,
I love you. Amen. 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 Amen.